Hi, today I am doing a little bit more of a serious video. I'm talking about why and how I left my job and took a 2-year break to take care of my health. I've been on my weight loss journey for about 2 years now, but it's a story that's been in the making for about 6 years. So to really get enough context about why and how, we have to go back to 2012. In 2012, I graduated from college and I landed the most exciting job opportunity in the biggest tech company in the world at the time. I had to relocate to Hyderabad for this job, and when I did and had my first day there, the sheer scale and the weight of my new environment hit me. I'm talking about the most luxurious office space. Pick up and drop to the office whenever you want. 3 meals a day for free. Your internet and phone bills being taken care of. The most incredible perks and benefits you can imagine. The best crop of people in corporate India working in one space. New team that was screaming with potential. And just having that incredible brand name on my resume, I genuinely struck gold with that opportunity. One would think that those 3 years would have been a breeze, where you do really well professionally, you relocate abroad, find the love of your life, you buy property, and then you live happily ever after. But life has an interesting way of happening. My 3 years in this company was nothing like that. 3 years was the toughest growth phase of my life, and it was the exact opposite of that ideal situation that I just described. There are a few standout things that come to my mind which led me to make the decision to ultimately leave and take care of my health. I'm just going to quickly talk about them. Of course, if you want me to go more in depth into any of them, feel free to comment down below and I'd be happy to go more in depth into it at some point. I can say that things started to go downhill within the first 6 months of me being there. The first thing was the job itself. I found myself in a job that I didn't enjoy. It was hard, challenging and manual, and not something that I was automatically good at. So I constantly questioned my intelligence, and at the same time I was delivering the bare minimum. Also couldn't find the sort of support system at work that would enable me to feel motivated and inspired to come into work every day and go above and beyond. Throughout those 3 years, I was in a constant battle with myself, asking, did I want a job or did I want something more? The second thing was my living conditions. So I had relocated from home and I was on my own for the first time in my life, and I made the poorly thought out decision to live with flatmates who I worked with in my team. Now, I don't think that that's a formula that works if your flatmates work in the same company as you sometimes, let alone the same team and who you would consider direct competitors. And over the course of our flatmate relationship, a lot of things happened which made me very uncomfortable in my living conditions at home. The third thing was love. I did not have love in my life in the way that I wanted to and should have. And this is three-pronged. Firstly, I got into a relationship and was in it for about a year when things ended really badly. I got cheated on a couple of times and completely shut off that person and that part of my life. Secondly, I had feelings for someone and I couldn't bring myself to admit it to them. And in the wake of a really bitter fight with that person, I shut them off as well. And thirdly, I didn't love myself. While I did open my heart, I didn't do it with enough of a sense of self-worth. So I projected that I deserve good treatment and then received that good treatment. The last one, and of course this is the most significant one, was my health. For majority of this time, 2012 to 2015, I was so sick. I was 110 kgs and had severe asthma. More than 6 months in a year, I would be extremely sick and I would be on antibiotics and I would plow through my asthma sprays because I felt so unsupported. The only person I reached out for help to was my mom, who was in Bangalore. It was more like an SOS where I would call her and I'd be like, I need you. I don't have anyone here. My health is going to the dogs and I need you to come and take care of me. So on 2 different occasions, she did that. And in all of this, I was easily one of the most bubbly personalities. You know how they say that sometimes your positivity is a mask or it's denial? I very much believe I was that. In order to feel loved or liked, I would try to be so funny and so over the top and bubbly, but the struggle inside was something completely different altogether. But it doesn't really go away if you discount it. It just gradually keeps increasing till one day you explode, and that's what happened with me. I weep for that girl who did not have the emotional intelligence or the tools to really understand herself and manage her life better. It's really so sad. Things just kept getting worse and worse, which led up to me deciding to leave. June 2015 was my last month in this company, and I called it quits and I came back home. Did I learn my lesson then? Nope. I proceeded to take up a job quickly at a startup in Bangalore for about 9 months, and that also ended in a very similar way. I'm not going to get into it because the same things apply where I did not resolve any of my issues. I just continued in a job because I wanted the money, and I'll talk about that experience separately in another video. But my true break started in 2016 in March. How I did it was I had some savings from my 4 years of work experience. So I definitely set aside a certain portion of my income every month, and I used that during my 2 years break. And I did not ever not have a job, because on the side I was also freelancing as a social media marketer, as a content creator, at least to take care of my very basic needs. When I decided to take time off, I did not have anything figured out. I just knew that I needed this. I needed to focus on myself. I was a mess and I was not going to live past 30 if I continued like this. So with that determination that I wanted to fix certain aspects of my life, I decided to take the 2 years off. And then I started planning literally on day 0 of my break. I decided that I was going to drop all my bad eating habits. I was going to start working out. That's how I began. Slowly put things together. My reasons were really strong to take the break, so I took the break, and then I came up with a concrete plan to fix the things that were in my control. I knew that if I worked hard, I could lose the weight. I knew that if I started to rebuild relationships, that I could develop them a little bit more and regain closeness to people that matter to me. And I knew that, if I fixed my health, then I would definitely, I would just in general feel better about myself. What this all led up to, this journey of weight loss, of losing 40 kgs has given me, is a realization of the importance of having your health. I feel like I figured out a lot of aspects of good living, of wellness, and I want to pass on that knowledge to other people. So where I am today is I have made the decision to pursue nutrition as a full-time career. So while I had no idea what this 2-year break was going to result in, it resulted in me actually finding that meaning that I was so desperately seeking in the 3 years that I was in that job. I'm working through the specifics of getting the education that I need, the work experience that I need, and hopefully, a few years from now, I'll be the nutrition consultant that I dream to be. And I also have deep-rooted and good relationships with some really precious people in my life. I also have love in a new relationship, and it's a very enjoyable phase right now. My health has never been better, so that's also a huge blessing. So all those things that I left that job not having, which was meaning, good relationships, and my health, just sort of reversed itself over time, and now not only is the present okay, but the future seems okay as well. And let me tell you, if you're thinking that in these 2 years I fixed my life and changed as a human being and now I'm perfect and things are amazing, absolutely not. I did fix a lot of the things that I was struggling with, but as I open up more and more into the world now, I find a new set of challenges that I have to conquer. I have to master myself in so many more ways. And I'm definitely a lot more reassured and on stronger footing, because I know that I can do better and I will do better if I just continue to give myself more space to grow. With that belief, with a little bit of faith, I'm getting along pretty well. For you, if you are in a similar predicament and you are thinking about if you want to take some time off work, make sure that your reasons are really strong and do it. Your 20s is the time to experiment. It's the least riskiest time to take a risk. As you grow older, responsibilities are going to mount, and the need for you having stability will only become more and more. Make sure you have some savings in hand, and you can always build on your plan for the break when you take the break. You don't have to have it all figured out. Overall, don't worry, because things will figure themselves out. Just do you, just keep wanting to be better and do better, and yeah, you'll be fine. I don't have any exciting outro for this video, so I'm just gonna stop it here. I understand that this is a little rough around the edges, but yeah, thank you for listening.